Welcome back to Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast, where we told you we are going to continue to share life experience. We have another amazing guest with another powerful testimony, and we want to welcome LeAnthony Day. And we want to, I want to give a shout out because I honor LeAnthony because we've been watching him, and to come out to publicly let people know that he is HIV positive,
Undetectable.
raising awareness. I was about to say undetective. I'm gonna get there. He's undetective, but I'm gonna let him come up and introduce himself because I'm not gonna speak for him. LeAnthony, we want to welcome you to Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast. Can you come up and tell us a little bit about yourself? And then, as you know, City Sid is gonna kick off that first question.
Well, I'm a 41-year-old man. Well, I'll be 41 on Sunday. Um, but I work with people with intellectual disabilities and mental health, mainly adults and young adults. God had prepared the table for me when my dad passed away because I was taking care of my father. I was taking care of him, and he passed away, and God had prepared the table for me to care for others. And I did not know that it was going to be something that I really, really love, as well as my story with HIV and dealing with HIV, even when I was taking care of my father in Southeast DC. But yeah, a little bit about me. I'm a musician. I sing. I cook on the side. That's one of my hobbies. Besides loving what I do at work with, supporting people with intellectual disabilities and mental health and autism on the spectrum, high and low. I just love, you know, dealing with things that I've dealt with my own disabilities in my past and my own mental health as well. And I think God had prepared that table for me because the simple fact is that I learn from the people that I support, and they learn from me as well. But that's just a little bit about me. Yeah.
Well, thank you again for being here with us. As we do with all of our guests, we like to start at the beginning of your story or at the beginning of your timeline. Um, Tell us a little bit about where you're from, how you grew up, what your home structure was like, and if there was, any tough times, trials, or tribulations you experienced in those formative years.
Well, I don't want to go into um don't want to go into detail about a whole rack of things, but I can tell you that my mother and my father. I grew up in Forestville, Maryland. Um, my mother and my father, um, they got divorced. Um, and I took a hard on me. It took a burn on me because I always thought that my mother and my father would be together. I'm a PK kid, a preacher's kid. Um, and dealing in the household of being a preacher's kid, people think that, hypothetically, dang, they live a perfect biblical life. No, that's not how it goes. It's not how it goes at all. I love both my parents. Rest in peace, my dad. I love my mother. My mother is still in my life to this day. I had both my parents. I can't say nothing bad about my parents except for certain situations that happened that I was so naive and so in denial about because I was young. And, mainly my brother knew what was going on, but I decided like I did not want to know what was going on in the background of things. But I can tell you, both my parents always took care of me and my brothers, and even through their situation and their predicaments, they always came together to love us And that's what really, really basically count. That's why I think I'm so grounded the way I am now, because I got one side of my dad and I got one side of my mom. I look just like my mother, by the way.
Okay. All right. So there are a lot of kids that go through their parents being divorced. Um, can you tell? You said it impacted you a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about how it impacted you?
Well, being as though my dad was a man of the cloth, it was certain things that happened that shouldn't have happened. And now, when you look at it, when I look at it now, by the way, um, I don't want to make this a psychologist or a psychiatrist session, because I do get other help. I have a psychiatrist, I have a psychologist, I have a counselor, I have a full support team that I put in effect for myself, mainly when I got when I found out that I was HIV positive. That was about 14 years ago. But my childhood was very nice, but at the same time, so many things were being done, and I was a part of it. My mother and my father domestically, yeah, they had some domestic violence disputes. Um, but at the end of it all, uh, it made me very naive, and like I said, I was in denial about it, because I always looked at my mom and my dad to be together forever. It didn't happen. Um, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was diagnosed with mood swings when I was young. Also, along with the ADHD, I always was the type of person that wanted to be out there, wanted to be landish, and wanted to, think, wanted to, I guess you could say, make sure people liked me, because first of all, nobody really mess with me, because my dad was one of those type of people. Like, if I get in a fight with somebody or somebody jump me, what he'll do is he'll talk to the parents. My dad was a very bold man. That's where I get it from. I told y'all my father, he was a very bold. I mean, I got one side of my dad and I got one side of my mom. My dad was very bold on how he spoke. Matter of fact, he was one of the people that made the Marionberry Summer Job youth program exists. He worked with Marionberry, worked with Pratt Kelly, and everything while being a pastor of a church. Um, but that was a lot of pressure on me as well. You know, my dad being the pastor of a church, I would always be embarrassed. I will always be embarrassed, because each and every school I went to until I graduated, my dad was PTA president. If y'all know what PTA president means. But he was active in my life. My mom was active. But people did not see what was going on in the household. Um, had a major effect on me, because people used to always bully me, because they saw that my dad had me grounded and set. I used to get spankings all the time in front of my classmates. But at the same time, my classmates, they used to people used to always tell me they jealous of you because you got parents that care about you. So, like I said, people don't know, and I'm not gonna go into detail, but there were domestic violence disputes with my mother and my father. I won't talk about those, because I talk about those with my psychiatrist.
Okay.
I always bring those things up, because the simple fact is that it's getting me close to where I'm letting you guys know that I used to love to try to get attention from people. because when I was young in school, I didn't get that attention. I wasn't a popular guy. I was always the guy that always used to be in school trying to do what I'm supposed to do in school, but at the same time, you know, I had a father that was just there for me where people didn't like it. And I always used to want to be a part of the crowd, but couldn't. If that makes sense to you guys.
Absolutely. Yes. What would you say your understanding of, sex was at that time, or, what was your level of sexual education at this time?
Ooh.
Just to maybe kind of draw parallels as to how, you ran into kind of the biggest trial of your life.
Can you be more frank?
Just, sorry, I don't really know how to make it more clear, but I mean, do you feel like at any point, in your formative years that, you didn't have the proper sex education, or, certain things that you were going through made you feel
no.
a certain way about sex?
No. See, this the thing. The thing with it is, now since you want to open up the box is open because I always wanted attention, but I was seeking it from the wrong things and doing the wrong things just to get it. And once I was always trying to be sexual, but at the same time, people did not look at me like that. They ain't look at me. They always looked at the dude that was the thug dude. So I had to be the thug dude. I guess that's what I had to be when I was young. But guess what? Look where I am now, and look at the testimony that I'm saying. But sex, sex. When I was young, I always wanted to do it. I always used to see my brother and them, like, shoot, we about to have some girls over and everything. And I used to always be like, hey, shoot, I want date. Is it another girl for me? Nah, it wasn't. But, once I had graduated from high school, I ended up becoming a male dancer. I ended up becoming an exotic entertainer. And when I ended up becoming an exotic entertainer, that was like my attention seek being answered. That was like, oh, I'm finally getting the attention. And I started out on the gay circuit. No, I'm not gay, but I'm bisexual. I started out on the gay circuit. Did not know what was hold for me, and end up finding out. I wanted all the attention, and I end up getting it.
And we hear so much about the dance industry and dancers being bisexual as well. And I'm glad you touched on that point, because a lot of people aren't open about that. And I'm glad that you're being honest and transparent. What led you to becoming a male dancer and knowing that you were in the gay bisexual?
This the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I came out being a dancer because that's where I started. I saw where you used to have the edge in the wet. My stage name was Bishop. The edge in the wet was where I started. Now I say I'm bisexual because the simple fact is that I was a pay to play guy. Y'all ever heard of pay to play? when you do something strange for a little bit of change. I was out there because I couldn't get the attention I wanted, and end up catching HIV from someone that literally was supposed to help me be a dancer and help and manage me. He ended up, when I was asleep at his place, he ended up raping me. Back then, my head was not right. Yeah. But it's this is my thing. I can't look at, for me, I looked at the positions I put myself into. I didn't have to be a male dancer or exotic dancer, but I could just, I was a good dancer. I could dance my ass off. Plus, I had the package, had the full package, and yeah, you know, I would dance for men and women. This guy, what he would do is he would put women in front of me that he knew I would wanna fuck, and he would do all types of things. This man was a drug dealer as well. That's how I got that's another reason how I got hooked to cocaine. It's a lot of things I can say, but if y'all ask more questions, then it'll come to mind. But like I said, at the same time of going through these situations, I put myself in them because I wanted attention, and I got the right attention. That's why I want people to know, like, stop being hot in the ass for attention. People gonna love you for who you are. People gonna like you for who you are. Don't ever let somebody tell you that, yeah, you gotta do this to be famous, or you gotta do this and do that to be. Nah, don't learn like me. That's my main message. I was hot in the ass, y'all. It's so many stories I could tell y'all. It shoot.
Well, and we're gonna get to some of them. I think Sid has a question.
After that incident, did you kind of keep going what you were doing, or did you feel like needed a career change at that point? Like what was your
You mean after I got
kind of
raped?
mind frame around that point after that happened?
Well, no.
Yeah, after you got raped.
I continued dancing. It actually happened early into me dancing. They kept on telling me about this person. It kept on telling me. I didn't listen. Remember, I told you it go back when I was young. I was very in denial about so many things, and then on top of that, I didn't want to tell nobody that I got raped by a man. That's another thing. I was ashamed of it because it shouldn't have never happened. And I thought this man was going to help me out, but he was throwing pussy at me. And these people was in his family. And the thing is, whole time they know what this man about to do. Thinking that this man was going to help me out with a dancing career. No.
So you feel like with the family, with him throwing the family females on you, they knew about him.
It was no.
It was a setup.
I feel like it was, yeah, it definitely was. It was set up, but people were giving me the hint about this person. Also,
so you ignored their warnings.
Yeah. Also, I was too hot in the ass. I wasn't listening. Also, I can say, like, even after the fact, Then he started saying that he was telling when he was in the club, he would tell people that that's my person right there. I'm like, hold on, cuz I ain't even gay. You hear what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't even gay. That's when he started beating my ass. Yes. How about this? I was in a relationship with a man and didn't even know it. And then don't like men at all. But this man, like, he gravitated off of people's emotions as well as he gravitated off of what he knew he could get out of a person, which was sex. This man had HIV whole time.
Did he knew he had it?
Yeah, but that's not how. Listen, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I was hiding the ass. So for me, I'm not going to take up for this dude because still to this day I got resentments. Still to this day, and he alive. Still to this day. But at the same time, like I told you, before we even got on the call, I told you, Demetria, that God got karma for whenever He ready to give it. And I always believe that I cannot make or force God to have karma on somebody for doing something to me because I did something to somebody, period. I did something to somebody that it hurt them badly. So I can't ask God, oh yeah, God punish him. No, it don't work like that. It don't. It's like what's the old saying? It's like peeing on yourself. You're the only one that feel it. All the anger in my heart for this dude, still to this day. Yeah. And guess what? This man married to a woman now.
Do you think that he even is actually reformed in any way?
They say he is. Yeah. They say he is. But at the same time, he's had other stories of beating people and raping people and having sex with people when he was young, back when he was young. But other than that, after thinking that he was supposed to be my manager, I broke away somehow from him because he was being like he would hit me badly if I ain't do what he told me to do. Because I was scared. He would always say, I'm gonna go get my nephews on you.
And what, if you could even put it into words, like where was your mind at when you found this out? That what you had contracted.
Well, this the thing.
If that can't
I
even
had
be verbalized.
this is the thing. I had also after that, I never did any type of drug until after it was after him, but I ended up becoming famous at dancing. I ended up traveling everywhere, dancing for the men, the females, gay females, transgender women. Yeah, but it was one time I went to this is where the drug addiction happened. I went to Philadelphia. We danced in Philadelphia. I can remember it. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's been on TV, and He used to dance for both crowds. We were unisex dancers. We ain't care where the money came. We went to dance. So we went to Philly, and on the way back to Philly to Baltimore, we was in the truck. He pulled out a bag of powder. He said, "Hey, you want to try? You want to try?" Mind you, he was more famous than me. He was more famous than me. Period. He was on TV. He was known. Everything. Um, I took one sniff of that powder and ain't never came back, man. I started drugging. I started selling my body. I started doing a whole rack of things.
And by this time, did you know that you were HIV positive?
Not yet. I ain't going to that.
Okay.
I stopped dancing because my dad got sick. He got sick bad. When I tell you it was bad, he was already dealing with diabetes. He was dealing with congestive heart failure. I miss my dad. And 2 weeks ago, his birthday was on July the 12th. It's still new to me, even though it's been some years. He died in 2014. But when he had got very sick, he started to lose his mind. Like, he really started to lose his mind because he lost his legs because of diabetes. He lost he lost both legs. He ended up losing both legs. Well, no, I'm sorry. He lost one leg and he lost a foot. But he started to lose his head, like he couldn't do nothing. My dad was always the person on the go. He was always the person on the go. Every Christmas, he would go to the senior citizens houses from the church, or people that he know that were senior citizens, and deliver them poinsettias. Like, yeah, my dad was awesome. But when he lost his limbs and he couldn't handle me, because I grew up so much. I know it really hurt him. I was a hard-headed kid and had the right tools in front of me. See, my story, a lot of people got stories where they don't have no dad or no mother, or barely a mother. My story different. I had both of them, and I was just a hard-headed dude. I was a hard-headed guy. I mean, I wish I would have listened to my father. I wish I would have listened to my mother. I'm sorry, Cinnamon. My dog see me getting emotional.
Express how you feel, LeAnthony. Hi, baby. Express how you feel. I tell people, release it. Don't hold it. I want to go back a little bit, because what people don't realize is that same sex goes through abuse, and you were going through abuse from a man you didn't even claim, that took advantage of you.
I don't to this day, like, that shit hurt me, because now I gotta be diagnosed. Gotta be people always try to put a title on you, and I be hating it when people put a title, because I feel like that's bullying you, because it's a certain bully.
Mm-hmm.
It's a certain bullying it is probably the worst bullying. You think you helping that person? You think that person gonna change because you want them to change? Shit, I ain't even asked for this shit. But at the same time, I can't play victim because I should have listened to my parents. And I want these young kids to know, like, you gotta listen to your parents because you'll be dealing with things like this when you grow up. Dealing with your past when you shouldn't be dealing with your past because it should be your past. But in order for me to heal, I have to deal with mine. That's why I'm on here.
And we appreciate it. We that's what we do is we share life experiences because I know your testimony is going to help someone else because a lot of people don't have the strength and the courage that you do right now. People don't even have the strength and courage to admit it, to say it, to acknowledge it, right?
Do you understand how difficult it is? And shoot, after people see this, they gonna be like, "Oh, that nigga gay." Look, it's all good. You say whatever you want, but even women, oh, that nigga got HIV and that nigga he bisexual and all that. Nah, I want a woman. Rejection. That's a part of my karma. I really want people to understand that. Because it take a strong woman, it's gonna take a strong woman to really, really, really dig me and understand me. As well as it's gonna take a strong woman to endure what I do for a living with advocating as well.
So
Y'all
it's
don't
kind of like you,
understand, man.
kind of like you starting all over because you still, you know, it came from the basis of you wanting the attention, and you know now again you just kind of starting over. So that's completely understood.
Well,
How
it's a different kind of attention now, right? It's that attention of awareness and people sarcasm and all the things that he's going through. But go ahead, Sid. Sorry, Sid has another question. I apologize.
oh, how did you you know, stumble upon the fact that you were sick? Were you showing like symptoms, or you know, just
Sleeping all day. That's the first symptom. Sleeping all day. Easy to contract the cold. Easy to contract the cold, which meaning that shoot, somebody call for me and they got a cold or they around me, I'll probably be the first one to catch it. Not now though, not now. But those are the first diagnoses. Um,
And how long did you have those symptoms? When did the symptoms start?
the symptoms started in 2011.
And you ignored them?
I ignored them because I was on drugs. You know, when you're on drugs, you are arresting. You're arresting the problem. You hear what I'm saying? Once I got sober, then that's when the health issues started to show up. So I found out in the midst of taking care of my dad in 2012. I end up finding out from a truck on MLK. I immediately got into treatment. The first pill I took going into treatment was Complera, which is the pink pill. Gladly, I wasn't way off. I thank the Lord because there's some people that end up finding out they full blown. I take one pill a day. I went from a fat pill to this one pill, Odepsy. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes, we can. Mm-hmm.
I take that one pill a day.
Can you show us what it looked like?
Yeah, sure. Small pill now.
Okay.
And I want people to understand this because a lot of people think like these doctors never went to college that had got these pills for us to have one pill a day. I remember when people was taking, and I did my research period for many years now, when people was taking 8 pills a day just to keep their viral load and CD4 count up. You are down to 1 pill a day. And some people say they don't like pills because they believe that the pills get, I mean, shoot, they're going to give you side effects. But at the same time, shoot, God made doctors, and I want people to understand this. He made holistic doctors. I look at holistic doctors too. But do you think I'm going to stop taking this one pill a day because you want me to do a holistic drug? I can do both of them at the same time. But at the same time, like, people up here saying they killing us, they killing us. We got to die somehow, but at the same time, these doctors was blessed to make these things. Woman doctors. A woman doctor actually made some of these pills. And a lot of people, this is what they fear as well. They fear about taking a pill. Well, if you got any type of health issue, you're gonna have to take a pill. You got high blood pressure, diabetes, you got sugar, you got sugar levels. Yeah, you gotta take a pill. Or you could do a holistic, that's fine. But at the same time, you got to know you put yourself in the boat as well. That's why when people always talk about, they killing us. Okay, if they killing us, why these doctors went to school so much and God had blessed them with the hands to create these things. People need to stop doing that and give credit to some of these doctors that God has blessed. We gonna die one day, period. But yeah, that's one of the things that people are scared of, especially in the HIV and AIDS epidemic. They're scared of the pill or the 2 pills they may have to take. They're now adding injections now. Yeah, it's always been a cure for HIV and AIDS. But at the same time, I guess you gotta have money to get it. But you got people that have done the holistic that have gotten rid of it. But at the same time, these things are people's choices, period, of what they want to do. My thing is that's like I said, that's the one thing that people fear. The next thing people fear, because I'm telling you what I did, what I fear. I'm only telling you me, what I felt, what I fear. But I know other people fear it, of knowing their health status. A lot of people don't take care of themselves. They claim up and down they take care of themselves, but at the same time, they're not going to see no doctor. You can tell when a person go to see a doctor. And those be the type of people that try to expose you. Because I know you've seen people that literally tried to expose me, but I already exposed myself to people because I want people to know the information.
And can I ask for the people through the time, because you didn't know until you got tested, were there rumors that the guy that violated you that
Yeah,
he
yes,
was
yes,
positive?
yes, yes. But just the thing, I didn't think I was gonna go to sleep with this man. He was throwing things in my face. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's some people out here that's so evil. They know their motive, and the thing is, they know who they can get around. And I was one of those type of people.
And how long did you allow the abuse with him to last? Because you said you eventually escaped, but how
Oh no,
long?
I escaped immediately. Where I remember I got sick and tired of it, and I fucked him up. I fucked cuz up badly
Good.
and ran.
I do not promote violence. I don't, but good for defending
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And then on top of that, my brother had to call him and say, "Yeah, that's my brother, Holmes." And after that, he would try to call my phone. This back when we ain't even really have touch phones like that. But
Now,
yeah, I got away. Yeah. He was
what
trying
about
he was trying to throw money in my face and all that. Nah, Holmes.
he got what he deserved. But in clinical terms, what makes your condition undetectable, versus the alternative? And is that something that's kind of like a stroke of luck, or is it something like diabetes, where with exercise, diet, or are there things you can do to make yourself undetectable?
Well, you first of all you got to get in treatment. You got to be in treatment at least for 6 months to a year to be undetectable. And you got to take your medicine every day. It's only one pill a day you take. So it's just like you would take a pill for blood pressure, like I was saying. Um, I want to know. I'm not everywhere, am I? It's so much I can tell and so much I can say.
No, we want you to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah. I can say this: your CD4 count has to stay high. Your viral loads have to stay less than 20. If you and this is what people always ask me about HIV undetectable, especially if I'm trying to talk to somebody and I let them know and I try to educate them. I was like, Google it. And it's going to bring up the number one site that you go on. It's going to bring up the number one site and start talking about the medicines. Because you got PrEP and you got PEP as well for the safety and precaution as well of anyone that you may be sleeping with you may be sleeping with unprotectedly, but don't know their health status. See, a lot of people say, shoulda, coulda, woulda, oh, he gave me this, he gave me that, or she gave me this, she gave me that. But at the same time, like, you always got PrEP and you got PEP. What's the problem? What's the problem? Um, but yeah, in order for people to be undetectable, they must take their medicine and be in treatment for 6 months to a year.
And what happens if you miss a pill?
If you miss a pill, the other day I missed a pill, but my CD4 count is so strong and my viral loads are so low that you can go one day without a pill. Probably 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I remember when, and the only reason I missed the pill is not because I forgot. I had to get my medicine.
Okay.
And I was out. They didn't have the refill in, so I had to wait. I had to wait a couple of days. Gladly, I have friends that have HIV like me, and they're undetectable, and we have the same pill, and we
Are
share.
they are they as open as you are?
Um, only in our meetings. We don't have to
Okay.
tell. this one thing. I ain't never had to be open.
Mm-hmm.
That was my choice too, though.
But that's a good choice. I mean, you're bringing so much awareness. That is a strength and courage.
I always been bold. They used to call me OC back in school because I was just out of control. Yeah. So, I mean, I just like being bold because I guess this is my good bold. Back then, that was my attention bold. You know, God has settled your ass down one way or another. So, you know, what I do is I try to just help others, yo. Help others with the breath that God give me. Period. And the thing is, like, everybody not gonna take your truth, and this is what I learned. Um, and this is why I stopped sharing about my story on the social media for a minute, because everybody not gonna take your truth how it is, because they're gonna try to twist it. They don't know you at all. And it be those messy people. Remember, I was the live I did on Facebook earlier. Those people that are messy, that got some shit going on with themselves that they can't get the fuck off of them. Those be the people, and they be miserable. They be miserable because they want to stir up attention. They like to troll you. So what I do now is, this is using something against them. This mechanism you got going on right here is so awesome, because it's using a mechanism against people that look at people like me differently. You should, because I'm the safest motherfucker you'll ever be with. That's if you and your partner or the person you deal with don't go get checked together. Because I mean, people gonna be people. At the end of the day, you make your choice whether you want to be with somebody or get with somebody on some fuck type shit. That's fine. We all grown people. But just know the ramifications. Like, you can't judge me, because at the same time you can't define me because I'm HIV undetectable. Now, if I was positive, I wouldn't even put myself out there until I actually got the treatment. But I've had the treatment for over now 14. Well, no, not 14. It's been since 2012 since I was diagnosed. Thank you, Jesus. That many years. But at the same time, I'm undetectable. I became undetectable in 2013. And I mean, I've been taking this pill, ever since. I started on a big pill at first, but I'm down to a small pill. So there
What would you
is hope.
say?
I just want people to know the right information. I want them not to be scared of me. Like I said, people need to understand I'm the most safest person sexually you could be with. First of all, if I'm just fucking a female, we fucking using a condom. If I'm really interested in a woman, oh yeah, I'm taking her to the doctor so the doctor can explain to her about me. Yes, I have an ex fiance. We still talk to this day. We was friends. Matter of fact, she met me when I was a dancer. We still talk to this day. It didn't work out between us, but at the same time, she's my ex fiance, and she went to the doctor with me. This was before we stopped using condoms. Um, she asked me, "Can he nut in me?" The doctor laughed at her and said, "Well, he the only one you're dealing with. Yes, he undetectable." From that jump, I was shooting all up in her. She never got HIV. To this day, we still talk. She don't have HIV. And this one woman that check up on her health. As a matter of fact, I got her pregnant in her tubes 3 times. She couldn't have the baby because she already fixed herself. So they had to give her medicine so those babies could come out, and they had to actually remove them as well. Yeah.
I think Sid has a question.
Yeah, for anyone watching, dealing with something that's, quote unquote uncurable, or something that is gonna kind of stick with them for the rest of their life. When is the, I guess, proper time to, announce that to, somebody that you might be dating, or somebody you're trying to get close to in that regard?
Immediately. I've heard people say, "Why don't you?" And this is a part of the rejection that I'm still dealing with for myself. Immediately, no matter what, because I'm gonna tell you like this: you may be undetectable, but at the same time, a person has that right that you're trying to be with to know, and you got that right to know about that person. Because I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody. I'm trying to tell you, the female I get with, I'm going to the doctor with her. Hell yeah. Period. Yes. But at the same time, if you just want to jump in it with somebody and you just want to fuck, just use a condom, strap up. Strap up, because you don't know what they got and they don't know what you got. But immediately is when a person should let a person know, like, this is where I am. Of course, the first thing somebody always talk about is, did you get it from a man? They always ask. That's the first question. I'm gonna laugh at it because it's a part of my story, but at the same time, that's like the first thing. First thing whenever I try to date or tell somebody about me that I really trying to get with. Yeah. How did you contract it? Or did you get it from a man? That's the first. They sneak that in. Y'all laugh, man, because I laugh and keep from crying. Period. I told you, man, I got a psychiatrist. My psychiatrist said sometimes you gotta laugh about shit that is very, very strong. Strong, and it'll make you weak. But sometimes you gotta cry to make you strong. That's what she always say. I got 2 psychiatrists, a male and a female. So.
And while we're there, I want to give you the space because we're not saying names, but they may see it. Without
Oh, I don't
saying,
give a fuck.
yeah, no. I'm saying without, this is Unfiltered Unspoken, so you can say what you want to say, but I don't want them to capture so too many curse words. What would you say to the person that took advantage of you because he raped you? What would you say to him? What would you? I mean, I'm saying if you had a message to him now, because you're giving positive feedback and information on HIV, but what would you say to him?
Well, he being treated now, so my thing, I don't have really nothing to say. Like, it's something that it's something that I had to deal with, but at the same time, karma is a mother, but not in my time. Not in my time. We all got to see God at the end. We all got to see God at the end. I don't care how many people keep on. Now they saying God is faking all this. Look what's going on outside. Look what's going on with people beating women, or even women beating men. Or look what's going on with HIV. I really wouldn't have nothing to say to him. I've moved on, but I still can talk about it. I won't forget. You don't ever forget your story. The thing that empowers me, the only thing I say to him is that shit. It's empowering people. The story that you gave me is empowering people. I turned it in from I turned it from a negative to a positive, but I'm negative and undetectable. It's changing people's lives.
And we're almost at time. I have just to close it out. What advice from your personal life experience would you give someone that is struggling with HIV?
If you're struggling with HIV, know that it is not your time to die. It's not a death sentence at all. At all. You can still live a good life. You can still live a very, very good life. And you outlive those people that you think may be ashamed of you. Most of the time, people out that are HIV undetectable outlive their haters or outlive people that would ridicule them about being HIV undetectable or even HIV positive. But it's not over for you. Your journey just beginning, like mine. And just find somebody to talk to. Shoot,
All of our
my
guests,
inbox open. My inbox open on Facebook all the time, and I'm anonymous. Nobody ain't gonna never know. Do you understand? I'm gonna let you know. There's a lot of people that people would be surprised. I could have a teacup if I wanted to, a tea app, whatever they want to call it. But I'm not that person. Everything anonymous with me. Period. I'm just that type of person to be open about my own shit. Take accountability for yourself as well. For the person that has HIV, take accountability. Look at don't look at who you got it from. Look at how the behavior you were doing. Look at the behavior. Look at the reckless behavior. Take accountability for yourself first before you start to point the finger or you start to have the resentment. And like I told you, like a resentment for me is just like peeing on yourself. Still got the resentment, but at the same time, it's healing, and it takes if it take to the day I die, it take to the day I die. But I'm not gonna be feeling miserable while I'm on this earth. I refuse to. I refuse to. And no one or you, whoever out there, you should not have to feel like you are not equal to anybody one else. We are all different in different ways. We all have different gifts and anointments that God has gave us. My anointment just happened to be my own truth. And like I said, don't be afraid to speak out on it. Don't be afraid to speak out on it. I mean, seriously, I'm only one person, but I'm glad I can bless one person. That's me. I'm glad I can bless one person. It only take one person to bless another. It's just like just like the telephone, the telephone game. But at the same time, it's not the telephone game. If I'm giving you that information, you giving it to someone else because you was blessed by the information that I gave you. We are blessing everyone.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Sid is going to jump in. We're at time. Sid,
As we do with all of our guests, we do like to give you a chance to participate in shameless plug. So if there's anything that you're advocating for that you want to draw traffic to, if you are okay with people reaching out for advice or somebody for assistance, support, guidance, anything you have for sale, anything that really you got on your heart that you want to let our viewers know that can help support you in your journey, you have the floor.
Just go on LeAnthony Day on Facebook. Inbox me. Look, I get inboxes all the time. I just said I get them all the time. I get DMs all the time. Trust and believe. Your stuff is kept secret and sacred with me because I listen to your story. Just because you giving me your story, I'm up here being blessed by your story as well. It's a chain. Like this whole right here, I felt comfortable on here. I ain't never did a podcast. I appreciate both of you guys, but that's the chain. That's how the chain start. And I appreciate Demetra and Miss is it Miss Sign?
Sid.
Miss Sid, I appreciate you guys for having me. That's that chain.
It is definitely an honor to have you. And the biggest blessing is this is your first podcast. So I'm glad that we could be a part and a contribution to what you're doing and to give you that free space and platform to share your testimony without being judged. We'll deal with the other stuff and whatever people got to say after, but this is your space and very powerful testimony. And like I mentioned to you before, I want you to continue to be an advocate for those that need it the most because people shy and stray away from the talk of HIV. So you have a strength, courage, and wisdom. You keep spreading it. You keep sharing your testimony because, as I told you before, you are going to be a spokesperson for somebody and it's coming and you have bigger goals in your future. And I just see it and it's coming. So keep spreading the message. Don't you stop. This is your testimony. These are the things that you have been through. We want to ask, once we finish, we want to ask you to hold until we end everything. So don't go nowhere until we end everything out. For this message is for folks that may be struggling with HIV. You don't know how, or you may be afraid to get tested. We hope that LeAnthony's testimony has touched you. And please stop judging people. Everybody needs support. We all have our own flaws, and no one sin is greater than another. I always say this. LeAnthony, thank you so much. And Sid, we're gonna continue to share life experiences. Ain't that right?
That's right.
All right. Thank you for tuning into Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast, where we are going to continue to share life experiences. We are led by God and we are not stopping. So stay tuned each and every Monday at 8 p.m. YouTube, Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast. Come tune in, come like, share, and subscribe to our station because we have almost any testimony that you can think of, and you have it right here. God bless you, LeAnthony. Thank you. And don't you go nowhere.